Oh, here we
Versus,
go. Game started,
are we
finally.
are we in? There
Yeah,
we
we
go.
are.
All right.
Alright, so let me do the intro. Sorry. We have StrikeR spawning as the blue Babylonians in the south side, and we have RecoN as the yellow Romans on the north side
All
of
right.
equal footing.
Let's watch those Babylonians because StrikeR's got a lot going on there.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. All right. So
Yeah.
what do we got? Get up to the Romans. Get up to the Romans. So
Yes.
how do the Romans start?
They start with an engineer on top of their starting villagers and scout.
Yeah. So tell me about the engineer, Puya.
Okay, yeah. So engineers are a unique unit to the Romans, and these guys can build and repair buildings faster than villagers do, but they cannot gather resources. However, they have a building called the Milarium, which is uh, exclusive to the engineers, and as you can see, it's a very cheap building, but it acts like a beacon of speed, or somebody called them speed poles as a joke in the Discord. But as long as your military units are near this pillar or this milarium, they will move faster. So what you want to do is you want to build these milariums in your reinforcement route, so your reinforcements will get to the opponent's base faster. So people are asking,
That's exact.
yeah, how do the Romans age? It's just a standard age up mechanic. They don't have like a particularly
Yeah.
different age up, just like
They age.
Norse. Yeah, please go ahead.
They age up just like the Greeks, just the standard. They age right up in the town center with a button.
Yeah, we have an
So
engineer versus scout fight. But yeah, engineers also have defensive capabilities in that they have a huge multiplier against siege units and a unique attack against them. So if you get attacked from your opponent with their rams or things like that, you can train engineers from your town center starting from age 2 to help defend against those siege units.
Yeah, the engineer was one of the hardest units for us to design because, well, we knew we wanted to have an engineer in the Romans because it fits the civilization so well, and it was originally going to have an engineer. The problem was that nobody knew what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
We didn't know, and we couldn't figure out how the original developers were going to do it. We actually have a couple folks that used to design the civs that we talked to, and I reached out to the guy that designed the engineer. He didn't know what it was supposed to do. He only knew that there was going to be an engineer, and so we went around and around with him and with the balance team and with everything to try to find what on earth this guy can do. So we arrived on a few different things. Thing number one, he builds things quickly, but he can't gather resources. So he's not like a buffed villager. He's a specialized villager. The problem with that, though, is that a villager can do so much. We need to make the engineer something you'd want to make. You just make a unit that can build quickly. You're probably never going to make one. You'll just because you can't do anything with him once he's done building. So we had to find other things for him to do, and we also decided to give him to the Romans in the very first age. You can't make an engineer in age 1. You can make him starting in age 2. So
yeah, just like the priestess of Ra.
Precisely. So you get 1 to start, and that gives you actually a pretty good jump to your economy because you can get him out on that first storehouse, so you can task your villagers immediately onto the hunt or onto the woods.
Exactly.
And so it goes there. Pharaoh says engineers should have bonuses versus buildings. That's an interesting point. We thought about that, but the way we thought about the engineer was we need him to fit into the entire game.
Yeah.
We already have a unique infantry unit that is really good against buildings in the Babylonian sapper, and we didn't want to step on the toes of the sapper. In fact, we were thinking of the engineer as kind of the other,
the good brother, the good twin.
Yeah, like I was joking, like they were college roommates. Like they're kind of dated the same type of girls. So there's the sapper's the guy that takes the buildings down, but the engineer's the guy that puts them up. So yeah, and then we came up with the Milarium as the Malarium again is this. You're going to see it. It looks like a little pillar that the engineer can throw up around the map to increase movement speed of military around the map. And that's also kind of a proxy for the Roman road that people keep bringing up. People wanted us to draw roads down on the map or something like that. That just doesn't work in Age of Empires. And it actually ends up asking more questions than it answers. Like, what do you do with these roads? Can your enemy use the road? We completely walked away from the roads, but instead we used the Malarium, which is basically a road sign. It's an ancient road sign.
Yeah, hold on. Let me explain. Hold on. We need to explain this. So RecoN opened with Decurions out of all units. So Decurions are an H2 officer unit for the Romans, which are trained from the Praetorium, which is the officer tent for the Romans. And they are extremely expensive units. They are the only 3 pop unit in H2, so you really need to think of how you want to spend your population. Yeah, they're super beefy.
This guy's a beast. This guy's a beast. He's going to be so much fun. He's basically an Age 4 unit hiding in Age 2. I mean, he's an absolute beast, but he's expensive. So you've got to really...
Yeah, and look how fast they can take down these gardens. Yeah.
And you can only make a few of them in Age 2, so you really can't make a big cavalry. How many do we have in Age 2 right now?
The Koreans have a build limit of 8 for the Koreans.
Of 8. Yeah. Is that an 8? And that's an Age 2. But to get I just don't think we're going to get a lot of people who are going to still be in Age 2 with 8 of them on the field. So it's not like Lancers, which they're fighting right now, where you mass them in Age 2.
And also one unique thing about the Corion is that they can regenerate their health, like baseline.
Oh God, that's right. That's right. Yeah. So the Decurions like the teenager that beats up the little kids. I mean, he's an absolute beast. He just shows up in Age 2, and he's got to be the best unit in the game in Age 2.
He is the strongest, like he has the best stats, but he has 3 population, so it's not like you're just getting free, like this overpowered unit. They are extremely expensive. 180 resources, yeah.
Yeah, he's expensive as hell in Age 2. I mean, he's practically the cost of the building. So it's a lot.
Yeah, and also you need to consider that when you make a Praetorium, you can only make a handful of units. So, like, this building is only going to give you a few units in H2. So it's a big investment to get the Curions.
Yeah, and so that building there, that Praetorium is the Roman... I didn't talk about that one. That's the Romans' essentially stable, but it doesn't make cavalry. It makes what we call Roman officer units.
Right.
And an officer unit... It's like a different dimension. It's not the infantry archer ranged categorization. It's sort of this other type of unit that we've kind of created where 1, it's super expensive, 2, it's super powerful, and 3, it has a limit to the number. Yeah, it has build limits, so you can only make a few of them. And that's kind of one of the features of the Roman Civ, that they have these officers. So when they're out on the field, they mean business, but you can't just make a complete army of them unless you get to deep into Age 4. Then you probably can pretty much make one.
Yeah, and now RecoN has reached Age 3, and now he's making equests from his barracks. I mean, from his castellum. I'm sorry, but that's the other building for the Romans. Sorry, Annie, I need to explain this quickly. So the third military building is the Auxilia camp, which is basically the building that makes all the quote-unquote non-Roman units. So we have the Balearic slingers, the Cretan bowmen, and the Gallic horsemen that are produced from this building. So all the quote-unquote mercenary units are trained here, while the other 2 main buildings train the Roman units, so to speak.
Yeah, and the Equus is interesting to me because I find him, he's got a bonus against ranged, bonus versus cavalry. He comes out in Age 3, he's obviously on a horse. He's really the first time in the Romans' life that they can mass horses, so you have to wait until Age 3. Yes. Kind of like the Celts like that, but they can still make the Decurions in Age 2. But I tell you, when you need horses and you finally get to Age 3 and you can mass them out of your barracks, it feels like it's like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it's like imagine with Persia with Persia, if you could make immortals from your barracks, that's almost how good it feels like.
It's just okay. Good. Now I can finally react to these horses, or react with these horses. So
Yeah, so as you can see, RecoN has a few Aquilifers in his army. That's another Roman officer. And what this guy does is he boosts the damage of all nearby units.
So he's also an officer unit.
Yeah.
He's got help me out here, a build limit of
4, I believe.
4, right?
Yeah,
Of 4. He comes out in age 3. There's 2 Roman officers in age 3, the Centurion and the Aquilifer. The Aquilifer, he boosts, he carries a new weapon that we've created, one new gear class for the Romans. It's called
banner.
The banner. You can think of it as a standard. We almost called it the standard, but we were going to run into a standard problem, right?
Yes.
Or it was the name wasn't quite working, so we call it a banner. And he carries it, as does the age 4 officer, the Primus Pilus. And then the Centurion, who is an infantry unit that comes out of the Praetorium in age 3. His specialty, he's beefy, but his specialty is that he has both a ranged and an attack, or a ranged and a melee attack.
He does throw a javelin before he charges into battle. And
that's right.
The difference between that and the Immortal is that the ranged attack of the Centurion has a cooldown. So he throws a javelin, but he doesn't throw it again until 15 extra seconds have passed. But that one javelin does have snare on it, so it's really good for sniping high priority targets.
Yeah, we fought a lot with what to do with the Roman infantry and what to do. One of the problems with designing the Romans is that everybody knows so much about them. So, there's so many fans or so many players that say, I love the Romans, I'm a Roman history nerd. And so then they view every detail in that lens. So we're trying to deliver the most historically accurate Civa possible. So the Centurion is famous, as is the Legionary historically. If they throw this spear called a pilum, which was designed to kind of actually break when it hits a shield. It kind of gets lodged into a shield and kind of weighs an enemy shield down. And then when this thing's in the air, and then they charge into battle. We wanted to kind of have that somehow, so we wanted to give them a ranged attack. But from a gameplay perspective, we did not want to step on the toes of the only other unit in the game that has both ranged and melee attack, which is the Persian Immortal.
Yeah.
We didn't want to just make Immortals, just put Immortals in the Romans too, because screw it, they're the Romans, they should have everything. So what we came upon is that we give the Centurion this it's basically a single ranged move, and we did that by giving it a cooldown time of what is it, 15 seconds? So he'll throw it once, but then he's not going to stand around and throw it again like maybe an Immortal.
Yeah.
So I think it works. And then the other way that the Romans would go is they'd throw the pilum and then they would charge into battle. We gave a charge mechanic to the Legionary, which they don't get that until age 4.
Age 4, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
With their second champion upgrade, which is called the Bellum Romanum.
Yeah, Bellum Romanum, and we got some static from people because they thought we were like putting Woad Raiders into the Romans, or we're just sort of like throwing charge in. It's
different.
It's different. It's different. When you guys play it, you'll get it. I think. I mean, I don't want to just poo-poo every complaint that we get, but it doesn't, to me, feel like it's a Woad Raider.
No, because they don't do crit damage when they charge, and they have like they're. Oh, did you see the Centurions? They just threw a pilum at the mounted archers before they started attacking them from melee, and. Yeah,
I love RecoN just has no gear on them. They look so ugly.
It's okay. when it's my turn to showcase some PVE, I have fully decked out my Romans.
I didn't know if I'd be playing, so this whole week I've been spending time like carefully like suiting up my Romans for show, you know.
Yeah.
and then RecoN just shows up and they're all got wood.
Well, I mean, we spent just as much time making these ugly ones, so at least we get some time to shine.
And that honestly, I hope when people play the Romans for the first time, they take their time and play the campaign slowly. I hope the campaigns really find it super hard and difficult, and I just want everybody to wallow in like age 13 or level 13, 14, 15, just, you know, so they have to suck it up and play, because we...
Oh, there's the Milarium. By the way, yeah.
Where is it?
It's on my screen now. As you can see, we also made it so that you can see how much the aura extends to when you select it. So normally you don't see anything, but if you click on it, you'll see where the aura is. And when there are military units nearby this building, they will get a speed boost. And also in champion mode, and only in champion mode, you get this upgrade that you can research that affects the villagers when you research it. As you can see, grants ability to affect villagers. But this is only in champion mode, so don't get too excited.
Yeah, no, but aren't we putting are we going to give the ability for the Milarium to affect villagers as a advisor card?
Possibly.
We talked about this.
Yeah, possibly.
I've got something in writing from you about that I could dig up. I know we decided something.
Eventually, one day we'll have more advisors for the Romans, and this is gonna be part of them. But as you can see, only the engineer is able to make this building. By the way, villagers cannot. So engineers cannot build farms, and
that's right.
Villagers can't build Milariums. It's 5% increase in Milarium's currently cycle.
Yeah, so the Romans technically have 19 buildings, which helps actually work things out, because I think the Norse only have 17 buildings. So we're even again now. Everybody's even.
Romans, sorry, I'm reading the chat. Romans do not Milariums do not affect caravans, but Romans do have the caravan speed upgrade, which is called Roman roads. So we don't really need to have them affect caravans as much.
That's true. That's true. You do want to. I mean, I agree that when you play, you totally want to line them along your caravan route. It feels like you're supposed to do that, but
like you said, we also have a duty to make sure that Romans aren't just this like super bloated civ that has the best thing everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Because it can only be exciting for so long before.
Well, it was one day, and you know we've been making the civ for so long, but it was like a summer of 19, I think. We finally, that was when we first touched base with I call him like our Obi-Wan Kenobi, like the grandmaster of civ design, who used to work for GPG, who contacted us, and I think Puya, I think you stayed up about like 8 hours.
I did
until like 4 or 5,
7
6 in the morning.
7.
Yeah, talking to him, and then when you were done with him, I got back on, and this guy was so generous with his time and gave everything to us, and the chat's like, you know, the word like Moses from the mountaintop, and I remember at one point he was like, well, I was trying to figure out what to put in the Romans. I basically said, F it, they're the Romans, you know, and he just gave them everything, you know, and we had we had to kind of make it work, you know. He designed, you know, Christ, he had, you know, 125% of the number of units you need. It was basically, we had to cut like 5 units. We had to cut couple buildings. You know, there's just too much stuff. It was just too much. So.
Yeah, so let's get back onto this game because we've missed. So this is the Presidium upgrade on the Castellum that RecoN has researched. As you can see, it visually changes how the Castellum looks, and when it looks like this, you can garrison villagers inside. And by the way, Pharos, I wanted to mention that these auras are not done yet. These are all placeholders, so this will be changed before the Romans are released. Of course, this is a dev build. So, by the way, one other thing, just like Gardens and Ziggurat, the Milarium also visually changes when you age up. So it starts with the Bronze Eagle in the Bronze Age, then Silver in the Silver Age, and then Golden in the...
Wait, which building is that?
Milarium. Which one?
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And then isn't there a change to the TC when you research the aqueducts
Yeah,
tech?
yeah. I think
Which is just
RecoN is not making that upgrade right now, so I'll just. It's okay. I'll just show it. Oh,
no.
there's the Forum, which is the tech building for the Romans, which also produces the
Yeah.
Clinicus, which is Andy. But yeah, this tech
Yeah.
building has a lot of cool techs in it, and one of them is called the Aqueducts tech. So when you research this tech, your villagers and engineers will regenerate health. And once you,
Yeah.
an added bonus, once you research this tech, it'll affect the town center and the forum visually, and you'll see that soon enough. But
That's
for
right.
now, RecoN is researching Marian Reformation, which is an upgrade that affects all officers and legionaries and reduces their gold cost by half. Oh, thank
that's
you
right.
for the Prime Godello BR. And also thank you Rakim1 with the donation. I completely missed that. Thank you so much. But yeah, RecoN just walling up and
Yeah.
getting his
The other
market
thing-
line going. Yeah, what's up?
The other thing I'd say, which is just nice to point out, is that the Romans began. It was December of 18.
Hold on,
no,
by
it's
the way,
Jan-
guys, that's Jenks dying, guys. The sound of the Cretan bowman dying is Jenks. Okay, yeah, please go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say that when it was like in its very early stages, it was actually RecoN, PF2K, and me when we kind of blueprinted it together. So it's cool that we're now releasing them and RecoN's playing and you and I are here. So
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah,
nice.
it's pretty
that
cool.
It's nice that RecoN's got at the controls for the first time for you guys to see them.
Yeah.
That's who should be doing it. RecoN's just. It was actually the first time I really met RecoN was then, and I will say this for my dying day. It was so fun building these sort of just through chat on Discord, and between PF2K and RecoN, these guys could balance the Civ in their minds against like every matchup in the game. We'd say, oh, we got to move this Civ to age 2, or we got to put something here in age 3, and they're like, well, we can't do that because in age, when they're against Egypt on water maps, in age 3, you're gonna have this problem.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh shit, and it was like it was just unbelievable. It was just unbelievable. And then we found Happy Smurf and Chaos and Phyllis and everybody came together, and when we finally built them and we finally had something working.
Hold on. I'm looking.
They
Hold
were
on.
100% right.
1 second. There is a Primus Pilus on this map, and I need to find him.
Oh, where is he?
Yeah. Where's the Primus? Oh, there he is. So this is the star of the show, guys. The Primus Pilus. He is the ultimate Roman officer, and this is like the equivalent of the Norse chief for the Romans. But the difference between the Norse chief and the Primus Pilus is that while the chief increases the health of nearby units, the Primus actually reduces the damage of enemy units around him.
He's just this nasty man. I see. These guys are balancing arcane, statistics in their heads. I'm just looking for the personalities of the units, and the Primus is there. He is. He is. I just love him because he kind of stands for that Roman emperor that doesn't deserve the position but was born into it. He's just this fat, nasty man that yells at people, and when he dies, he has his own little show. He's the only unit in the game.
Exactly.
There's a special death dance he does when you finally kill one. Like, when he dies.
Yeah, when the Primus dies, he falls off of his chariot, and for a few seconds, there's a brief window of time where he fights, and he is almost invulnerable. Like, you barely can touch him and do damage to him, but he will bleed out from his wounds on his own. So it's just like his last stand, like the last punches he'll throw.
I can't get over how bad RecoN's army looks because they have no armor. It's just we make this like very imperial looking Primus, and he's just sitting there. He doesn't have a helmet on. He just didn't even take a shower. He just shows up. This is everyone's first impression. They're all wearing wooden armor.
But yeah, it's okay. In just a few minutes, we will be showing the good-looking Romans. So.
We gotta get another set
you can
out,
see, guys, even though this is temporary, but did you see the little effect that the Primus had on the enemy units? Like, when you see that, the enemy units are doing less damage. Did you see the number change there? Like, when the Primus is around, your units do less damage. It's not too much because we need to be careful, like not to make it too oppressive. But it's important to snipe the Primus when you can.
Yeah, and one of the design issues we had, and I think it was Carnage that pointed it out early, was that we have so many different units that have effects that there's a lot of bright lights going on with the Romans, and it can get a little bit complicated. We ended up tying it down a little bit, but because we've got the Malarium and we've got the Aqualifer, and then we've got the Primus. Is it just the 3 that have?
Oh, there's the Primus. Oh, I missed it. Oh, he was just running around. Sorry, my bad, guys. I'll show it to you next time. Yeah, he does hit the enemy with his stomach, with his belly.
Yeah, he fights with his belly.
Oh, there are the Scorpios now. H3 range siege. And the Gallic Horsemen, so RecoN is just showing us all of the units.
Yeah, RecoN's doing a good job. And the Scorpios are out.
Yeah, here come the, as you can see, the units that pass by the aura of this Malarium. Well, actually, they're just walking just at the narrow edge, but like this guy, when they pass by the Malarium, they will get, like, as you can see, RecoN is able to reinforce into the fight really fast.
Yeah.
Thanks to the Malarium.
And that's like a historical thing. It actually ties in. Like the Romans built these roads, and the reason they could dominate the landscape was because they had supply lines that nobody else did. So the Malarium, it works. It weirdly works, and I'm happy that I think we got it tied down to the game, that it's at the right levels too. It's balanced correctly. Mm-hmm. And it gives the Romans, it gives them a little bit of charm. And I'm curious to see if people make a lot of Malariums, because you have to
it's one of those unique mechanics that people need to get used to, just like the Norse Raven, like the Celt Gold Mine.
Yeah. Well, I remember it was the Gold Mine, Puya, that you had pointed out to me, is like, how many gold, you see these people that play the Celts all the time, how many gold mines do you see them make? Like how and it's true. It's like the civs in this game, they all have these little features that sometimes even the people that love the civs don't use them enough, and they it takes them 6 months of playing before they find oh, you know what, I should be making those. So I think the Malarium's a good example where I think you could play the Romans and never make them, and then realize that you were missing out. It's just a little something, but it's cool.
Yeah. So very nice by RecoN. Yeah, that was really nice.
That was an excellent game by the boys. They put on a good show for everybody.
So guys, do you want to see another PvP match? Do you want me to talk over the tech tree, or do you want me to switch to PvE mode and play a quest with Kira?
Kira, I'm sure, is pacing backstage. He designs our quests for us these days. He handpicked, he curated a good Roman quest, and the legendary quests are not launching with the Romans.
They might be, actually. They might be. Okay. I mean, they're done for the most part. We just need you to make some text for them.
Oh my god, I don't even remember what the storyline. We gotta go. Yeah, we'll figure it out. But Kira's been an absolute blessing for us. He's just a quest making machine, and same with Jill. But Jill's been absent recently.
For now, yeah. Okay, it seems like the overwhelming majority of the chat is asking for some PvE. So Kira, if you're still in the chat,
get him, man. Get him, man.
Yeah.
Oh, he's here. He says to get on the legendary branch.
Yeah. I need to restart my game, guys. Just give me a second. So
Shall I just play it like this? This is working on my end, right? You can just.
what?
I don't need to get on with you guys.
No, no, no,
Actually,
no,
I
no,
can't
no.
even. I couldn't even observe anyway. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'll
yeah,
just
yeah.
stay here.